Pittsburgh City Councilman Bill Peduto has big plans for Pittsburgh. He's running as the Democratic candidate in the mayoral elections to take place November 5th. One of the many things on his agenda, if elected, is to increase the accessibility of all downtown bus routes. For example, continuous bus loops could be created starting at Grant Street that turn onto the Boulevard of the Allies, then right onto Liberty Avenue and back onto Grant Street. Because riders pay to leave downtown, riding the loops would be free.
If you had a system like that, then every single bus route would provide access up to 3 to 4 blocks of any location in downtown.
His plans would also help to eliminate on-street parking to create bus-only and bike-only lanes.
Smithfield Street is a core area that should have a bike lane. It would take you all the way from Station Square to the Strip District. Basically a north-south route where bikes wouldn't have to play dodgeball with cars and buses. It would also allow us to create a more safe pedestrian area. Right now, there is no thought put into where bus stops are placed in the size of the sidewalks. So you have major bus stops on sidewalks that are only 10 feet wide. We could look at creating areas where we could create modern transit stops with shelters over them and multiple pickups, and where people could be safe and you could also safely walk down the street without having to walk in the street. There are people that are killed every year in downtown because we haven't created safe streets. We will create a system that is a model of a complete streets that will be data driven and will have community input. So it's not about taking buses out of downtown. That's the furthest thing from the truth. It actually is enhancing a system that hasn't changed since 1950s to one that would represent a 21st century downtown.
Peduto plans to start collecting data to share with the community of accessible bus lane possibilities and safe areas for walkers and bikers as soon as the fall of 2014. His hopes are to see physical changes by 2015 or 2016. Throughout his college career and beyond, Peduto was involved in an assortment of extracurriculars, such as sports, Greek life, and most importantly, unpaid internships.
I had to work harder because I didn't apply myself as I should have when I was an undergrad. But that also helped to build a really strong work ethic within me. And to this day, I challenge people to work as hard as I work. I hire people who can exceed it, and I find that characteristic if you understand what hard work is and not cutting around the corners. For me, it was born from not doing it as an undergrad and the necessity to do so, to not only catch up with my peers, but to exceed them.
Peduto said if elected, he'll be running the office differently than Mayor Luke Ravenstahl, but using a hands-on approach and reaching out to the community through Twitter.
I'll create a mayor's office that will be more about making sure that the city government is accountable, transparent, and that there is a certain level of expectation within the city that hasn't been there in the past of what city government can deliver. We're going to modernize this government. I told somebody yesterday, city government dances to an 8-track by Duran Duran. We haven't really changed and caught up with all the other good things that are happening in the city. And we're going to put a special emphasis on the lower income and the neighborhoods that have been left behind in a new economy, and trying to provide them tools to empower themselves and the organizations that are working there to be able to see that spread to every corner of the city. So I think you're going to see a much more aggressive, proactive, and transparent government.
For the Point Park News Service, I'm Marina Weiss.